So because you bought akara for yourself, you could not buy for me too. You are very stingy. Odaira hissed, her hands on her waist as she stared at Onochie. Onochie wiped his mouth with the back of his hand and looked at her. Odaira, did I tell you I was hungry when you bought roasted corn for yourself yesterday? Did I call you stingy? He asked calmly. Odaira rolled her eyes. A whole man like you, comparing yourself to a woman. Tufiokwa. She spat on the ground and stormed off, her wrapper swaying behind her. The people of Umuakara were simple villagers who believed in hard work. Umuakara, a neighboring village to Umuachuku, was known for its nature's beauty, hard work and fertility. Onochie, a young palm wine tapper, was one of them. He was known for his honesty and diligence, but he had one problem, Odaira. Odaira was a village beauty, with skin as smooth as palm oil and a voice as sweet as a flute. She had charmed many young men, and they all spent their last cowries on her, hoping to win her love. But Onochie was different. He was kind, but he was not foolish. He saw how Odaira took advantage of men, and he refused to be her next victim. Every time she asked him for something, he would smile and say, Odaira, I work hard for my money. I will not waste it to prove I am not stingy. At first, Odaira laughed, thinking he was joking. Then she became angry. When words failed, she started calling him stingy in front of everyone. A man who cannot spend on a woman is not a real man, she would shout in the marketplace, hoping to embarrass him. But Onochie only shook his head. If spending recklessly on you makes me a real man, then let me remain a boy. One day, a rich trader named Motsi Odigu came to the village. He was looking for a young woman to marry, and Odaira saw an opportunity. She quickly charmed him, and in no time, they were married. The village buzzed with talk. Oh! She has finally found the man who will spend on her, people whispered. Onochie went about his life as usual, unbothered. Months passed, then a year. One evening, Onochie was on his way back from tapping palm wine when he saw a familiar figure sitting by the roadside, looking tired and hungry. It was Odaira. He stopped. Odaira, what are you doing here? Tears filled her eyes. Onochie, I made a mistake, she whispered. She confessed that Motsi Odigu was not as generous as she had thought. He was strict with his money and did not allow wastefulness. He even makes me account for every kobo. I thought I was marrying a rich man who would spoil me, but I am suffering. Onochie sighed. Odaira, you called me stingy because I refused to be fooled. Now, tell me, is Motsi Odigu stingy or just wise with his money? Odaira lowered her head in shame. She had called Onochie stingy, not because he was, but because she couldn't take advantage of him. From that day, the young men of Umuakara learned a valuable lesson. Moral of the story: wisdom is knowing the difference between generosity and being taken advantage of. Not everyone who calls you stingy truly needs help, some just want to exploit you. A fool spends to impress, a wise person spends with purpose. True love is not measured by how much money you spend but by how much respect you give. People who love you for what you give will leave when you stop giving. Being responsible with your money does not make you stingy, it makes you wise.